Okay, we are going to start. This is 8.1, and let me turn this over. Here we go. And this is really talking about some quadratic basics. Now, a quadratic is ax squared. So notice the quadratic piece we're talking about is the squared piece, okay? And then we're going to talk about like what's the a do in the front. So this always we talk about the parent function, okay? And so this parent function is y is equal to x squared. So this is the vertex is at 0, 0. And so a couple things that I want to point out. So this part is called the vertex. Okay. This, my friends, I'll try to always keep yellow, is your line of symmetry. And symmetry means that it's the same on both sides. And so this line of symmetry is what we're talking about with this piece and this piece together. Okay. And this is for the vertex here, it's either the lowest one of, it is either the lowest piece of the parabola or the highest place, depending on if I were to flip it over. Okay. And notice when we talk about the behavior of the graph, how both of them either point up or both of them will point down. Okay. Questions on? Okay, so let's talk about domain and range with these. Okay, so remember that your domain values are your x values. So notice that I can go either way. So my domains are all reals. There really are no stipulations. I can go as far this way or this way. Your range, though, the lowest thing you have here is at 0. So I need to say I want 0 and everything above that. Well, that's easy. I can just say y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so now what we want to deal with is what do we do when the a in front, what happens when we change that a value? Okay, so what happens when a is greater than 0, and what happens when it's less than 0? Okay. All right, so let me give you some examples. Okay, if I just take f of x is equal to 3x squared. Now, if we want to do a little t-chart here, how I came up with these values, well, let's go back up here real quick. Okay, this would have been my t-chart for f of x equals x squared, just my plain Jane parent function. In fact, I'm going to okay. So let's see. 0 and 0, my favorites, right? If I plug in 1, what's 1 squared? Well, that's 1. That's really easy. And 2, what's 2 squared? Well, 2 squared is 4. So that's how I came up with those values. Okay, what happens here though? So here's what I want you to do. I still want you to think about, okay? I want you to kind of not worry about that right now. So this would be 0, 0, okay? 1, 1, and 2, 4, right? When I have a multiplier of 3 out front, my friends, if I have a multiplier of 3, I'm really multiplying my y values by 3, okay? I'm going to make them that much steeper. So this is still 0, but what's 1 times 3? Well, that's 3. And what's 4 times 3? Well, that's 12. So here's my new values with my same existing x values, okay? So I just became a little bit steeper, okay? I'm at 0, 0. I'm now at 1, 1, 2, 3. What I do to one side, I do to the other. And 2, 12. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm all the way up here. That's ridiculous. Right? Look at how steep that is. That's much steeper than the one above there. Okay, wonder if a is less than 0. So let's do f of x equals 1/3 x squared. Okay, well, I have those same values. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 4, right? 2 squared is 4. But now instead of, I'm going to multiply by 1/3. So that's going to make them kind of flatten out, isn't it? So I still have a 0 here, but now I'm at 1/3, and 4 times 1/3 is 4/3. So here's my new values with my existing x values. So 0, 0, but now I'm at 1 1/3. Whoa. What I do to one side, I do to the other. And now I'm at 2 4/3, which 4/3 is 1 1/3. Wow. Does that make that look very different? It does, doesn't it? Now let me do this. Is this, putting a -1, still less than 1? It is, but watch what's going to happen. 0 squared is 0. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. Look what's going to happen when I multiply by a negative. 0, -1, -4. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Well, now instead of pointing up, now my graph points down. Okay, so let's talk about this. You know, my domain here is still all reals. AR stands for all reals. And my range, I'm still at y is greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0. Same thing here. I haven't changed my domain, and I really haven't changed my range. I'm still starting at 0 and above. Now right here, I still haven't changed my domain, but look at my range. How do I say I want 0 and everything below it? You're right. Less than or equal to 0. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.